So, I wanted to do some live streaming. As you know, the election just happened with Trump and Kamala Harris, and I've been doing some live streams on Instagram and basically got censored on there by Zuckerberg because it's a political account. And so, first of all, live streams don't really work that well on Instagram anyway because the viewership drops, and then you have to start a new live stream. Whereas with this one, more people get recommended to you as you keep streaming. So I thought I'd try it here and talk about the Sprocket Bicycle app and my professional work. Nothing to do with politics. Just get it all out there, see how it works. So this is an experiment. You're part of this experiment. And then later I'll post it on my channel and just keep it up there and see what happens. Yeah, so I'm a founder. My name is Seven. I run a small business. We make a bike app called Sprocket. It's a team of about 10 people from all over the world. And this bike app is a bicycle marketplace for buying and selling bikes and bike parts peer to peer. The unique aspects of it are that it's decentralized, it's more private, it's a more secure marketplace where we verify listings through Bike Index, 5 to 9 Garage, Strava Ride History, and yeah, paid listings get verified as well. And you can also add a serial number, not have it verified, and you get kind of a quasi verification system as well. So, what we're basically working on is climate activism and trying to help fix climate change and making the business kind of self sustaining. So, if we can get people to buy and sell bikes on there and pay us, then it pays the team, and then we can build more features and kind of expand the platform. So there's two parts to this park. There's a park side and there's a soccer or football stadium, and they're having a amateur football match right now because it's Saturday. Welcome to Portugal. So the bike app uh, is going well, I would say. We have a bunch of features that we shipped, a bunch of exciting releases. The app is live on 3 major platforms: on iOS, on Android, and on web. On iOS, it's also live on macOS with M1 chips and visionOS, and we're working on iPad. On Android, also just overhauled the tablet experience. It's also available on Chromebooks, and we made it so that it works with a couple of other platforms that you may know of: the Samsung Galaxy Store, the Amazon App Store, and the Indus App Store in India. Some staircase. The app was really popular in US, Canada, Australia, and the UK on the Apple App Store. And for the Android uh, Play Store, it's popular on India, Pakistan, Brazil, places like that. So, there's lots of work to do, but basically, kind of what I wanted to talk about, maybe get some feedback on, and also maybe help some other professionals is what I'm working on today. It's like November 16th. Yep. Um, we've localized the Android and iOS apps to a bunch of languages, to Hindi, Russian, Ukrainian. I'm Ukrainian. To uh, Gujarati, Bangladeshi and Urdu, and also on Android now because I'm over here in always sunny Portugal to Spanish and Portuguese. Now, the kind of funny thing is that the Android app has more traffic by far, but less revenue. The iOS app has less traffic, but way more revenue. Um, I'd say on Android, it allows me to buy like a beer once a month, and on iOS, it's like 10, um, yeah, like a lot more significant than that, but still not enough to pay the team. So it's great that we built this engine. It's basically working, and we have built this entire money making engine in our garage. Our problem is how to get people to use it and how to put the attention out there to get traffic into it and then monetize that traffic. So it's really a two-part problem because on the input side, on the funnel, we have customers that are going into it and we're trying to figure out how to optimize the monetization. So the onboarding, the paywall, the in-app experience, maybe retention, although we're not so concerned about that right now. But on the outboard side, how do you even catch attention on the World Wide Web through social media to funnel customers to your App Store, Play Store page to convert them into an install? So at every step, how to optimize for lossiness. And during election, it really sucked because I believe that with Trump's election, it makes the environmental fight just that much worse. So I really focused on that, which then meant that my Facebook page for my app got banned, my Instagram got marked as a political account, and my Threads was repeatedly getting comment blocked for 7 days at a time. And so even with a verified Meta account, it's hard to figure out how to drive traffic to the app because Meta is really trying to hold that traffic within their platform. I did get an integration with the system that if you post a specific keyword that is told to you in the comments of a post, it will then auto DM you a link to the app. And supposedly that's how people find apps on Instagram. But I didn't know this. So when I was doing like 15, 20 posts a day, I had figured out that like 3-second reels, if they're good enough, can get you like 3 million views on Instagram and 3 million views on the Facebook auto reposted Facebook reel. Because I didn't have the system in place, I basically did not gain anything from this traffic from the two posts that went super mega viral. So it'd be 3333, so like 12 million views. Right now, what I'm trying is it seems like a lot of the traffic for the marketplace on Android is coming from India. And it seems like that started happening when I was posting on Josh, which is a India version of TikTok. So what I'm doing with that is now that the election is over and I haven't been posting on any social media, only posting on Josh and seeing in a kind of test environment whether I'm able to drive installs from India with posts on Josh and whether those installs can also drive revenue, even in a small amount. Because if I'm able to affect that in the way that I'm not able to affect it on Instagram, then I have a clear path to just spamming a ton of videos into this Indian platform and slowly generating subscription purchases. And even though those subscription purchases are like 1/10 the value of a Apple App Store subscription, it would still make some uh, sense as they stack up over time. So I've been doing that. So I've been posting like 6 to, I would say, like 10 videos. The way I do that is I post them on my personal Instagram, I edit them, and I get the music. Then I use the GDPR feature of downloading the reel from Instagram and then upload it back up onto Josh. So I'm running that. I'll let you know how that works. It's I feel like a pretty interesting experiment. Another thing we're working on is we just overhauled our terms of service and privacy policy with the U.S. lawyer. So we're going to be talking to a Portuguese lawyer here in the EU and make sure that we're compliant with all the EU laws and understand how advertising is supposed to work. And then after that's done, we can deploy our first ad network on uh, Android because we have so much traffic there. And then perhaps we can make some money off of advertising on Android. With the current amount of installs we're getting, which is like 170. Oh, look, chickens. With 170 to 200 per day, we are making significant traffic that never buys anything and never will. So perhaps we can show them ads and we can make something like we're projecting $10,000 in annual revenue. And that will, of course, grow as we grow the traffic to our platform. That will pay for some of the things for the team and for our operating expenses. Uh, yeah, I mentioned tablets. So we're adding tablet support because that seems to be good for the algorithm. It's also known that if you own a tablet and a smartphone, you probably have more money, so you're more able to buy in-app purchases. So that's something that we're working on, as well as Watch OS and Android Watch apps. We have a tab in our app that basically doesn't do anything, but it's a tab that has a kind of updated list of everything that's being posted to our platform. So I just designed a really quick app that just does that as an excuse to have a smartwatch app. And based on everything I've read, when you have the algorithms see that you're trying to help them sell watch hardware, they promote your app more. So we're going to try that. We're also going to try putting it in screenshots to see if it increases ASO. So that's another thing we're doing. And in fact, today when I go home, I'm going to be working on Android screenshots because I need to rebuild all the phablet and tablet screenshots on Android to support the new design and really show off that we did custom design the Android app for tablets. It's not the case currently. So that's going to be fun. That should increase both the tablet ratings and the amount of downloads from tablet owners on Android, especially in India. What else are we doing? We also really haven't been emailing our email list. We've generated an email list of something like 40,000 customers that we can potentially talk to about our product until we unsubscribe. So we tried designing and building an automated system that would basically, but there's a whole reputation thing with email. So I screwed that up with one signal, and now we have to restore our reputation before we can automate this system. So it's unclear exactly how we're gonna work on that. Yes, I hear you, bro. So we're gonna try to work that out. That's gonna be a interesting project. And there's something else I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, and then we have onboarding, right? So we have like X amount of people that visit the App Store or the Play Store every day, and we lose X amount of them versus convert some of them to an install. Then once somebody installs the app, they may never open it. So we lose some out, never move off the first screen. So that's an issue that we've been trying to solve. And the way we're currently trying to solve it is by showing our marketplace actually on the second onboarding screen after you agree to terms of service and privacy policy. And we'll just show you all the listings we have, and you can just scroll them and see if there's anything you're interested in, instead of trying to get through onboarding, losing you in onboarding and then never seeing you again. Hello. So we're trying this as a improvement to our onboarding flow, but we got to look at. I got to look at another thing today, the analytics for onboarding and see where people are dropping off and if there's any major holes where we're losing a substantial amount of our traffic and optimize those things and figure out how to do that. Um, in addition, we may not have accurate analytics for some of the screens because we move so many things around in onboarding. So we may need to add additional analytics infrastructure to onboarding before we can even understand what's happening with onboarding on all three platforms. Yeah, and I'd say this is the sad part is my wife's not doing so good with her health, so the kind of runway that this company has been reduced to, let's say, um, the next 6 months. So not 6 months, 6 months into the next year. So we're in November now, so November, December, so like 8 months, right? And I've had to wind down some of the participation of some of the team members on my team because everyone's a contractor and everyone's working off of my savings. Uh, I slowed down the work on Android a bit because it's making a fraction of the money that iOS is making, which is consistent with what everyone who works in the mobile space as an indie tells me. Uh, for the most part, we stopped working on web. That was the other project I was going to mention. We pretty much stopped working on web because it makes us zero money and almost nobody even goes and posts on it for free because our model is freemium. So the first listing is free and then we try to charge you or sell you a subscription. But even at $3.99, zero people are posting on web. So that's exciting. So we have an experiment now where we basically upgraded our paywall because we learned that our paywall was incorrectly designed on Android. And once we fixed it, we actually saw that people are buying subscriptions. Now the problem there is they're buying them, but they're getting refunded, but at least they're buying them. So on web, one is upgrade all the subscription paywalls to what's working on Android, what's working on iOS. And two is take those paywalls and add them to the highest traffic page, which is our app landing page, Sprocket.bike app, which I posted in the comments. And that page basically is to get web traffic and convert it into mobile traffic where we can buy something from them, uh, get them to buy something from us. But um, if they are willing to buy something on web without even switching to the mobile app, we integrated with Stripe, so we give them that option as well. And then after they buy through Stripe, we're going to try to push them into the mobile app because our infrastructure actually supports all of this. So we're going to try to run an experiment where we do some Google ads and try to buy some traffic to our web domain instead of our mobile apps and see if we can either get them to purchase from the web or convert them to mobile. So lots of exciting experiments going on, lots of interesting things. I think the theme that we're going with is we're narrowing the focus of the team and the time that we spend into spending it more smart that are going to grow the revenue. Now that we've demonstrated that people love our app and they use our app, they sell bicycles on it every day, but not a lot of people just know about us. So, how do we optimize for the algorithm? How do we optimize for Google search and AI search results? How do we optimize the entire part of the app outside of the app within the social sphere to even get attention and convert it into traffic to our um, domains, our spaces, our store listings? Those are the really interesting questions we're looking to solve now. Anyway, thanks for listening to my walk. 20 minutes. Let's see what the comments are. Let's see if this is useful to people. Maybe I'll do it once a week. And if it's useful still, maybe I'll do it more than once a week. But until next weekend, see you later.